and welcome to Millennial Moms Unfiltered. We're your hosts, Ashley
and Brittni.
On today's episode, we are going to be spilling the tea. You guys wrote in and shared your juiciest little stories with us. So without further ado, let's get into those stories. Okay, number one. Nobody signed off on anything, so I have no ending. I wanted them to be signed and then have something cute. The girl with the orange hair or something, I don't know. Okay, one time in high school I had a huge crush on a guy, and my best friend would record every interaction I had with him because I was always too scared to talk to him. Obviously he never knew that my bestie was recording, but we would look back at all the videos and swoon over him. My pitiful moments at flirting. Not exactly a secret, just more embarrassing, and I feel like I have to admit that LOL. Oh, teenagers. That is something. That is something that I would probably not talk about. No, I'm just kidding.
Kudos to you for admitting that.
Yeah, no, everyone has done something that embarrassing.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I can relate.
I don't think I have anything super... I mean, I was tragic in high school, I feel.
Tragic in high school? I didn't go, and then I dropped out at 16, so, I mean, there wasn't much there, but I'm sure there was plenty.
I didn't love it.
Alright, next one. When I was 16, I was dating this guy, and he was my first real boyfriend. I had a really bad yeast infection. I feel like this is already going to be funny. I had a really bad yeast infection that was super embarrassing to me. I thought it was dirty. I was so grossed out. Whatever, all of the 16-year-old stuff. So I used Vagisil, the little egg insert, and then 3 hours later decided it was a good idea to have sex. So we were having sex and the cream started coming out. It was all over him, and I was like, oh my god, I have to stop. And he thought that was female cum. And he was all excited, and I was mortified, but he never figured out it was yeast infection cream.
He thought he did great.
I'm gonna say, first of all, those creams don't fucking work on most yeast. This is coming from somebody that worked in a GYN office for 6+ years. Don't waste your money and time on it. Go to the doctor and get oral yeast infection meds. It's just faster and way less messy.
And embarrassing if you decide to have sex.
Yeah, way more predictable. Okay, next one. Not my story, but too juicy not to share. This is the ones I encourage. If you had tea on somebody, I would like to hear about it. On the eve of Thanksgiving, my friend, we'll call her Anna, whose relationship with her fiancé spanned over 7 years and 2 beautiful children, discovered a devastating betrayal. I love the wording here.
That's so juicy. Devastating betrayal.
It turned out that her fiancé had been cheating on her with none other than her best friend of 13 years. Ooh. First of all, shit like this that happens, that's a different kind of low. When your best friend will do some shit like that. The 2 people that are supposed to be closest to you, that's a different kind of... That's unexcusable in every way. There's no reason or situation that is okay ever. So let's just say that. Who also happened to be the godmother of her youngest child. Overwhelmed by the shocking revelation, she confided in another friend who... Sorry, I'm a mess. She confided in another close friend, someone she had trusted for years. However, the plot thickened. Who wrote this? The plot thickened when she learned that the friend was also involved in a secret affair with both her best friend and her cheating fiancé. In a tale of deception, loyalty, shattered alliances, and betrayal, this woman's world got turned upside down on the eve of Thanksgiving. Well, first of all, Thanksgiving, I feel who gives a fuck? It's not the important part of this, but I like how you tried to distract us from all of that. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea on that one.
I feel maybe because they had to deal with all of that the next day with their family.
Oh, true.
Possibly.
She pick better people. What are the fucking chances
that 3 people in your life?
And who's the guy? Like, what is he? What kind of?
What are you
putting out? What are you putting out? That you're just the whole friend?
The whole friend.
13 years?
3 girls.
Oh, I'm mad. I'm mad about it.
Wait, we need to know what happened. We need to follow up on that.
We need to follow up.
What? She better
what
have.
Was the aftermath? What was the aftermath?
We need to know how this happened. We need to know. We need to know more details.
This is a short one, so these are usually... I love my partner, but I often think about having sex with other people. I'll never act on it, but I feel guilty. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, people you know, or people...
I feel like
imaginary people.
Right. Like, it's normal to still be attracted to other people. Like, I don't think that's weird, but if you're, like, hanging out with people and, like, fantasizing about that, that is where it gets controversial. If it's within the fines of your relationship,
sorry,
the
guys.
longest sneeze attack. Like, talk that one out. Like, if you feel like it's something you want to do, like, have, like, an ethical, non-monogamous relationship, go off. But I don't think it's abnormal to be attracted.
It's not abnormal to be attracted to other people. I just wouldn't say, like, I mean, I personally don't fantasize about other people.
I really have time to fantasize in my actual life. Fantasize is a strong word.
Yeah, fantasize is a very strong word.
Like, what does that mean?
But yeah, I can, like, think that I can see another person, think that you're attracted to them, but, like, are you like, having sex with your partner and thinking about someone else?
Right, then that's a whole
And is it, like,
story.
a celebrity, or is it, like, your
actual
coworker? Like, that's,
right.
Yeah.
Those are dangerous situations to get into.
Dangerous situations as far as, like, you need to reevaluate what that might mean to you. If it's just, like, silly, you think about it, I feel like that's fine. I don't know, I'm thinking about guys here. Like, I'm trying to, like, even though we personally don't do it, do guys fantasize about other women? And if so, like, why can't girls? Whoops, sorry guys, phone call. From my dad.
I think it's normal across the board to, like, think about other people, but, like, again, how deep is it getting? And, like,
yeah,
it's like people with, this is kind of an extreme comparison, but, like, how they say, like, if you watch too much porn, like, your thoughts on sex get, like, fucked up.
yeah, because it's not real.
It's kind of like the same thing. Like, are you nurturing that thoughts for so long that it's, like, clouding your reality? Like, you're thinking about something that's, like, not even gonna be real, even if you were to act on it, right? Like, so yeah, it's just something to think about. And, you know, if you need, or whatever, other people, have a conversation and see what that would look like in your relationship, if that's a thing, whatever. Next one, birds aren't real. I know who sent that one in. Birds are real. If you follow me for any length of time, that is one of the conspiracy theories that
Birds are not real.
I don't understand. But people think that birds are not real, but birds are definitely real.
Who thinks that birds are real?
There's, like, groups. I can't tell if they're joking or if they really believe it. Like, I can't tell if it's a real, like, conspiracy, like, cult thing, or if people are just making fun of it.
It's just satire.
I think at some point it probably is, like, they're making fun of it, but I think that they're
You
really
don't know where the line is?
Right. I think some people really don't think that birds are real.
Birds aren't real.
Alright.
There are people who think dinosaurs are not real.
I know.
Which I think
They're
is crazy.
Yeah, everyone that, like, we have actual, like, things, like,
I saw a
relics.
TikTok. There was someone, like, they didn't believe in dinosaurs because they were saying that, like, bones and fossils, like, couldn't possibly be real because they would definitely have decayed by now or whatever. And then their
like,
proof...
it's actually the opposite of fossils.
their proof was that aliens exist, and then they were using, like, they showed something, their proof was, like, a fossil of some kind. Like, but you're telling us that you don't believe in one thing because of its proof, but you're using it, it's okay here?
Right. That's usually how those conversations go. That's exactly it. Like, they'll use the logic that they're trying to disprove to prove their logic. And it's like...
They don't even realize how stupid it sounds.
We're doing this? What was I going to say about that? I don't remember. All right.
It'll come back.
It'll come back when it's completely not relevant to the conversation. Okay. I once hooked up with my guy roommate. Okay, this is going to be good, I guess. I already have thoughts. I had, at the time of college, he was also a good friend of mine while I was in a very committed relationship. I was not in a relationship with my roommate, and I honestly saw him as a brother.
Oh.
We got super cross and ended up in the bedroom. It lasted like 10 minutes, and it was awful awkward, and ever since, we have not spoke of it. It was like it never happened, literally. It wasn't even awkward the next day. We both knew not to even act like it happened. We both knew it was a big mistake, and it was never spoken of out loud till this day. I feel like I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like having opposite sex roommates, those situations are like bound to come up.
It's a recipe for disaster.
You know what I mean? Or like, yeah, I feel like at some point, because you guys are going to be drinking together or whatever, you're there, you might as fucking well, why the hell not? And it's like, good for you for it not fucking up your relationship and like not talking about it, but there was potential there for that to be like a complete fucking disaster. I've never had sex with a roommate because I never had roommates besides one time, and that ended horribly.
I only had one roommate, and it was a girl, and we did not have sex.
We did not have sex either. She actually moved out in secret with my cousin, and then they never talked to me again. And I was like, you guys just left me with a 4-year-old and no rent? So then I was like, I'm never having a roommate again.
No.
That was my roommate experience.
No, my roommate was awesome. I had to move out kind of abruptly because I had a messy year too.
Did you tell her about it, or did you do it?
No, it was. I told her.
Because one of the terms of our move-in was that no one was going to move out in secret, so it was just like, yeah.
On the lease, do not sneak out in the middle of the night. No, I told her about it. It was just a bummer because we loved our apartment, and then she couldn't keep it by herself, so then she had to move back home, which was like further away in Massachusetts. So it stunk, but that was my one and only roommate besides Patrick.
Yeah, roommates. I'm like a firm believer, and you have it to live by yourself at some point.
I briefly lived with my ex-fiancé, but that was only.
Is that some tea?
Maybe.
And if you're watching this on
maybe
YouTube,
another day.
We're not drinking tea. We're drinking coffee because that's way more on brand for us than tea.
Even though I've been drinking tea, like you would not believe, because I'm still sick
of the illness.
Of this, my voice.
All right, next one. Before I met my husband, he slept with his best friend's crush, and that's in quotes. To be fair, the crush friend-zoned the best friend. What? To be fair, the crush friend-zoned the best friend. What best friend? Oh, okay.
The husband's
got
best
it.
friend.
I forgot what the first part of that was. Still to this day, his best friend doesn't know. I've been sworn to secrecy. The crush moved to another state and is engaged.
Oh, so like guy code. He broke guy code, even though he was friend zoned. Even though the guy was friend zoned.
I feel like there's certain things that, like, okay, I get it, but I'm not mad at, like, it is what it is at that point. Like, if there's no chance with it, like, do you feel like you have to stay away?
I don't think you can call dibs on someone.
The
person has to choose who they're attracted to. That's consent. Like, you can be like, I want her.
Right.
Well, she doesn't
no,
want
now
you.
Now you can't because she doesn't, like, no. I don't agree with that either. I feel like that's not even bad, but, like, I guess good for keeping it a secret.
Yeah, no, I mean, good for keeping it a secret. Would the best friend, like, I mean, I guess it's not worth ruining their friendship over by telling them if this person is engaged and, like, there's literally no chance ever, but they might feel betrayed. But, like, that's the best friend in this situation.
I almost feel like
needs
it's
to
worse
grow
to
up.
keep it a secret. No, I think it's worse to keep it a secret just because...
You're like, hey, I'm married now, and the girl that you used to have a crush on is engaged, but...
Right, there's no point in saying it now, but if it happened, I would have just been like...
It happened.
It happened. Because, like, it was over. Like, it was not, there was never a thing there.
No, never.
If it was like an ex-girlfriend,
right? Yeah.
Then that's a different story.
But a crush, in quotations, who was friend zoned, and he was friend zoned.
Grow up. All right, next one. My husband and I went to a wedding last year. We stayed overnight at a nearby hotel with our friends. I can't read, so this is really interesting that I'm the one reading these.
I'll take over. Oh, my voice is bad.
it was a group of 8 of us, so 4 per room, a couple in the room that I got into, both terrible drinkers. So the guy went to bed, and the girl continued to party with the other wedding guests. They left early the next morning, and we all assumed it was over. Before leaving, we discovered the girl must have shit the bed. So, okay. Shit the bed because there was a huge skid mark on the white bedding, which they hid under the pile of pillows. The couple stayed together, and the whole friend group knows about Shitgate. This is some Amber Heard shit. I don't know if I'm abnormal or if I'm lucky or what, but I've never had a poop catastrophe of my own. Like, I've never pooped my pants. I've never pooped myself while I was sleeping. I had a friend that pooped while they were sleeping, and I was, how? You have to try to poop, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, how does it accidentally happen? Like, when you have full control of your butt, why, you know? Like,
I don't know, I've also never had a poop catastrophe.
If I did poop the bed in some way, those sheets are coming with me.
They're
you know what
trash
I mean?
and the dumpster on the way out.
I'm not leaving it there.
Under a pile of pillows?
What if your friends jumped on the bed?
It's disgusting. I don't fuck with.
I have a lot of questions. Yeah, poop is the worst, especially when you're fucking adult.
Blech.
Like,
and clean up after yourself.
And right, that's another thing. I just want to say that, like, if you're thinking you just jinx yourself, you're gonna poop your pants. I talk about this all the time. I've talked about it with Gio frequently. That, like, every time something like this when an adult has a poop situation, I'm like, it's never happened to me. It's never, and that's been going on for years. So it's either gonna be really bad when it happens to me, or it's like not a thing that adults poop themselves.
Some do though. It's wild. That comedian we just went to see a couple weeks ago, he not at our show, but he showed a scene on his podcast, and he shit his pants, and he like walked off stage for a second, and apparently like wiped his ass with a t-shirt and then came back out like a grown man.
IBS is a thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So if you if you have a problem, that's a different story. I'm talking about you don't have a problem and you're just normal.
You're just
to poop. To poop your pants?
She was clearly drunk. She'd shit the bed and drunk. I've never been that drunk.
Me either. And let me tell you something. I've been drunk, okay?
Some people don't get that drunk. Like, even, they could be as drunk as they could possibly be for them, and it will never
Pee your pants when you're drunk? I could see it way easier than pooping yourself. I feel like there has to be an attempt to poop, you know what I mean? Like, it never just, like, there has to, I don't care. Okay, I could go on forever about this, because it's something, like I said, me and Gio have talked about, and I just don't understand.
Feel strongly about
I don't understand how it happens. Okay, in middle school, I changed the time clock forward so that we could go to lunch because I was hungry. And the teacher got confused and took us to the lunchroom. I want to know what year this was. Was there no, like, clock on the computer or, like, anything like that? She looked like a mad teacher when she realized that it was a mistake, and I've never forgotten the look in her eyes. I'm sorry to the teacher, but that's my little secret.
It's a cute secret.
That's like very,
so
like, because you were hungry. Did you really though change the clock? Like, how did you do that with no one looking? Why was there no backup clock?
Or a watch. Teachers.
Right. Yeah. There was watches. No. That was very. I mean, if you get like. Oh, I thought that was something. I was like, this was just in it. Why were you like? There was no. How was there nowhere else for the time? Or if it becomes like so like, oh, it's 11:30, let's go, and you just like don't think about it. That's the way to like get someone to think like, okay, I have to start paying attention to what I'm doing because. Did you get to eat your lunch? Like, did it even matter?
Did she really? Yeah.
Yeah. Was there lunches?
When I was in high school, in my Spanish class, one of the older upper upperclassman, I won't say his name, but he kept changing the channel with the universal remote.
I feel like I've heard people do that.
It was so horrible. I felt so, because she was little. Miss Gervais.
And she couldn't
turn the TV.
That's
He
so
was like
sad.
a yardstick to it was
I feel like that's
it was like
away.
2000. That was 2003. Oh god.
And there was TVs in the room?
It was like the TV up in the corner.
Oh, yeah, the old ones.
The old
now
TVs.
they have like the nice TVs.
Yeah.
When I go to Eden's school, I'm like, he was like, we watched a movie on Netflix. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, what? You watched a movie on
projectors.
Netflix? Yeah, I'm like, that or the TV
that rolled in on the car.
There was no, yeah. I'm like, how wild.
This is the new wing of the high school. That ultimately got torn down. Like,
okay.
Last year.
All the money?
Yeah, they built a brand new high school. East Providence.
Oh. I was like, they just tore down what they...
The new wing was built in like 2000-ish. And then they just tore it down though. There's just one part of the school was new, but they just tore down the whole thing.
Alright.
It's been a long time.
Next one. I moved here in high school, and we never stayed anywhere too long, so I lied about where I was from. Now, almost 10 years later, it's gone way too far, and I feel like I have to move away to get away from it. I told everyone I was from the UK, faked an accent, and came up with everything, a backstory, and we never moved.
Oh no.
I feel
Do they
like...
still use the accent?
Right, like... Well, they said they feel like they have to move, so like...
It's been 10 years.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. Okay, so...
Is the accent real now?
Yeah, do you just have that accent? What do you do in front of your parents? Have your friends never been to your house? Are your parents in on it?
There's so much to this story.
That's like Taylor Swift when she used to have a country accent and then she just never talked about it.
Talks about it all the time.
And
where'd her accent go?
You should have said no. And then just like now she just like talks like regular. She's not. Was she from the South? Is Taylor Swift from the South?
She's from Pennsylvania.
What the fuck? And no, the Swifties don't come after me. Don't come after me. But I know you guys have thought about it too. You guys have thought about it.
I think she just did it for like the country twang of her album was like a country album.
Yeah, but you can't just do that. You can't just have country twang.
I don't know.
Did she talk like that in interviews?
I don't know. I do not recall any interviews of.
You have to be pretty good at. If you can fake an accent, fine. Good for you that no one like caught you on it because like, that's. I couldn't fake an accent. You would know I was faking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
For you to like get away with it.
I think she's from Pennsylvania, but I don't know for sure. That should be like we need a, other podcasts have producers who can look that shit up for you. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Okay, this next one, already, first sentence. Ew. I had sex with my high school English teacher when I was a senior. He was my teacher in 9th grade, and a group of us always would say hi and keep in touch as we moved up. I don't even know how it happened, but we exchanged phone numbers and it got out of control from there. I feel like it shouldn't be a fine line like for being like close and like personable with your students, and like I know teachers that have like given their phone numbers to students for like it's like school related things or whatever, but it's like what do you even relate to on any level with a high schooler, like,
because she said she was a senior, so she's either 17 or 18,
which is still like if you've gone to school to be a teacher, you're already like,
and if
mid to late 20s,
you're at least 22, so there's a 4 to 5 years difference probably, if not more
at least,
and they're your student, so there's like the whole ethical,
right,
other than it being like fucking illegal if they're of underage. I don't like that. It's messy. It's
rapey. It's an abuse of power. It's just gross. Like I feel like.
Does she feel like it?
I mean,
right?
Yeah, so it got out of control from there. Out of control could mean a whole bunch of things. I don't even want to know what out of control do. I kind of. Then what? How old was this teacher?
Yeah, I do want to know how old the teacher was.
Was this a thing?
That they do this with other students?
Follow-up. We're gonna have to put up like a follow-up
Yeah, we need
anonymous, like I'm the one that wrote in about this.
We
and
have
then just
lots
follow
of follow-up questions.
So whatever we've asked, write in and say I'm the one that wrote about this, and then we'll have follow-up
Yeah, for sure.
follow-up tea about this stuff because I have questions.
That was our last tea.
Definitely write in and give us follow-ups for the questions and shit we talked. Sorry if we sounded judgy on certain things.
Because we weren't trying to be judgy. But some of those things.
Some of those were hot tea. That was hot tea. I really want to know about the girl that, like, everyone in her life was, like, having an affair without
fucking her over. Yeah,
were you having sex with anybody? Like,
Nina, where are you now?
Yeah.
Portion. Where are you now?
Okay, yeah, I could just spin off on that one. So we will, have a follow-up tea at some point, and then we'll do this again in the future, because I like these. I like hearing stories. Maybe we'll do another kind of story time.
We do need more, I need to call you on your shit.
I have one that we can do for our next episode.
We'll do that next week.
So yeah, follow us, like all of the things, and we will see you next week.
See you later.